This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Clive Bull.
LBC, I'm Clive Bull, and this is the Business Hour with Vodafone. If you run your own company, or maybe you're just thinking about running a company, setting up on your own, well, you can call us now for some advice and give a plug to your business as well. On hand to advise this week, we have Daniel Priestley, entrepreneur, author, and co-founder of Dent Global and a business accelerator. We might talk about that in a moment. Hi, Daniel.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And Rita Clifton is back with us as well, international branding expert and chair of BrandCap. Hi, Rita.
Hello, thanks for having me too.
So you've got double the value, two people here to help and advise. And I thought since Rita's with us, we should talk particularly about branding. And the importance of it. And if you've got a question about branding, then do call 0345 6060 973. And any other questions you have, if you want some advice. So, in terms of branding, Rita, what do we actually mean by brand, first of all?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because sometimes people think the brand is the name and the logo. But of course, if you're going to use a brand properly, if you're going to build a brand properly, you need to think about how it's going to help you organise your whole enterprise. So how are you going to answer the phone? How are you going to serve customers? How are you going to train and develop the right kind of people? And yes, of course, how are you going to make distinctive products? So it's like a living business asset. And obviously it's got to be captured in a trademark, an ownable trademark. We'll come back to that in just a moment. But it is the thing that's going to give you long-term, enduring value in your business. If you want to add value to day-to-day process and cost, you need to be building a brand. Whatever size of business, whatever category of business, that's the thing you're going to be able to pass on to your friends, your family, your colleagues and everything else.
Even if you're a little business, you're, I don't know, setting up a window cleaners or something, you've got to think about a brand. You
really have. I mean, obviously, if it's just you as a sole trader and the business is going to die when you die, that's one thing. You just want to maximise whatever you're doing at that moment. But if you want to build something that's going to have some long-term value, some long-term influence, and frankly, that might make money while you sleep, you've got to be thinking about building a brand. And that is a whole range of associations, it's a whole range of disciplines and everything else that actually is quite easy to do if you've got that way of thinking.
Do you agree with that, Daniel?
Well, for a small business, I think one of the brands that most small businesses rely upon is the personal brand, what people come to expect of an individual, and just getting to recognise somebody's personal name and what they stand for and what they're all about. So a lot of businesses begin with just that personal brand and then they evolve into having a bit of a company brand and all of that sort of stuff. One of the big trends at the moment is big companies that historically were faceless companies trying to put a personal brand out the front as well. So kind of like how Apple did with Steve Jobs or how Tesla's doing with Elon Musk.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree, and particularly with an entrepreneur, you want to kind of build your profile, you want to make sure you're generating interesting content yourself. The only thing I'd say, from time to time, companies will say to me, oh yeah, the brand's important, but actually our most important assets are our people. I'm sure you've heard that one. And I go, yeah, that's interesting, but organised to do what? Because unless you're trying to build a consistent idea together that's going to have some long-term value, you're just a group of people doing stuff versus another group of people doing stuff. And the other thing about people is they have a nasty habit of dying or leaving or whatever. So you need to be building something that's going to go beyond you and your lifespan and what it is that you know. But obviously a big first step is building your personal brand, what you stand for, because you need to symbolise all the best about your company as well.
But should you put your name in the company name, do you think?
Well, that's a very good question. And of course, actually, if you think about companies like John Lewis, I mean, they well transcended, the original founder's name. Hewlett and Packard. I mean, there are many, many examples of organisations, lots of the, designer brands, the luxury brands and so on. They've lived way beyond their founders. So if you've got a powerful brand name, if you make it mean something, you can fill it with associations over the years. And then, frankly, you can just use it to get on. If, however, it's just you and sole trader and you're not really doing very much that actually is going to, grow your business or develop it long term, then frankly, you haven't really built a personal brand.
The other one that I find interesting is when companies name their products and actually give a brand name to the product. So a Fender Stratocaster or an iPhone or an iPad, these are product brands. And I think it's fun to think about your personal brand, your name, your company name, but also the name of your primary product or service and perhaps give that a name as well.
You can have lots of fun, can't you, thinking of names? The only thing I'd say is that whatever name you think of, you can almost be certain that someone else has come up with it before. It can be one of the most frustrating. You've got to come up with something pretty original these days, yeah. You've got to come up with something pretty original. And frankly, sometimes your name or a variation of the name or something.
Zumba.
Something.
It can't be aerobics, it's got to be Zumba.
Zumba, absolutely, or Shine or any of those things. But you've got to come up with something either original or real, or maybe even both.
There seems to be a bit of a fashion to go away from your traditional names and as you say, just pick a random word like shine or whatever it is, almost from the dictionary. Why is that? Does that work?
Well, there are lots of different sorts of names, and I'm sure, we've all come across them. I mean, you'd have a very, very descriptive name like British Airways, for example. It's British and it's pretty sure it's going to be an airline, That's at one end of the spectrum. And the other end of the spectrum is completely freestanding or abstract, like, Orange, for example. And Google is interesting because Google's somewhere in the middle. I mean, Google has got strong associations. It's very distinctive. And, of course, it was related to the word Google, but it was originally called Backrub. Did we know that?
Wow.
Google was originally called Backrub. There are lots of examles of weird names that
Imagine having to
called.
backrub something.
Yeah.
Right? I know. It doesn't have the same.
I'll just look that up on Backrub.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons
I'll just backrub it.
I'll just backrub it.
We could get into trouble quite quickly, I think, on that one.
They were very smart to change that. One of the reasons people choose such strange and distinctive names is you can protect them. So it's very, very difficult to protect something that's obvious, even from a legal standpoint, if what you do is described by the brand name. So if you have noodles and you're selling noodles, you can't trademark the word noodles because it's descriptive of what you're actually selling. So some of the reasons that people do come up with fancy names is because they become protectable, and we're actually running out of names to call things, so people have to get fancier and fancier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's take some calls. If you want to join in, 0345 6060 973 is the number. You can also text 84850 and tweet at LBC. If you have a question or a point you want to talk about your business or your business idea, then call us now. And Noel is in Gloucester. Hello, Noel. What would you like to say?
Hi, Clive. What it is, hi everyone. What it is I've got my own e-liquid recipes for electronic cigarettes.
Right. E-liquid recipes, yeah.
E-liquid recipes. I actually make my own e-liquid, and I started about 4 years ago to save myself money. And basically, everyone that's tried them say they're better than what they get in the shops. I've got my own. I've got my own brand name now that and my stickers made up. I've got the liquid made up. I know I've got something that people want, and I can make like a bottle for £5, and I know they sell them for 20 in the shop. So I know there's a good markup on it as well. It's just I don't really know how to take the next step, if you see what I mean. I've got all the stickers printed. I've got the name and everything. But have you got a
website? Do you want to give it a plug on radio and have tens of thousands of people hit the website today?
It's called. I haven't actually got the website yet, see, because I haven't even got to that. But the name of the e-liquid is Fat Buddha Vapes.
Fat Buddha.
Right. Fat Buddha Vapes.
Yeah.
Right, and I've got all the design of the stickers that were done with a friend, and they're looking really good. I've got all the liquid bottled. Mm-hmm. I've picked. I've got about 45 recipes. I've picked the best 7.
What's the best recipe?
Well, it depends what you like. I've got a toffee tobacco. I've got a caramel custard.
They sound nice, don't they?
I think they sound disgusting, but nevertheless, they're very distinctive. So there we are.
But the thing is I know that it is a really, it's a quickly growing market, and I mean, it's well accepted here in this country. I mean, 2 hospitals have just opened up vape shops inside the hospitals and totally banned smoking. So I know it is a growing market.
So what's the question? What is it you want to know how to get started?
I just want to know how to get started, where to go. I know I've got the product, I know I've got the design, and
have you sold any? Have you been selling some?
No. I've been giving it away.
Yeah, just as some product testing
and stuff. Yeah, product testing, and people are, as soon as they taste it. For anyone who vapes, they know. As soon as you have something you really like, your eyes close, because it's like, oh, wow. And
well, I'll tell you what, Noel, you're doing a good job of selling it.
No, yeah.
You are, except, of course, I'm not in the target market. However, having said that, I think there are a couple of things that you said that are really, really important here. Number one is that you've got people who like you already. That is a really great start for any business. In fact, if you don't have that to start with, you haven't got a business. So the first place to start is the people who say that they love you. You can really make something of that. You can ask them to talk about you. You can ask them to mention you on social media. But the other thing you said was, you said you haven't got a website yet.
No, I haven't, because the thing is they've said to me, all of them have said, you've really got to get this out there, and as soon as you're ready, we'll get you out there.
You've got to get the website sorted out, Noel.
Yeah, you've got to have a website, and there are so many tools now online where you can create your own website, and obviously people need to know where to find you, they need to know where to get the product from, and then on your website, all these people who love you, you can quote or have a 5-star review or something of that kind, where actually that is the thing that you want people to know about you, that people love you. And frankly, with your name and some of these product ideas, you could have a really interesting, zany type of distinctive website and distinctive feeling brand that actually would make you a bit different. So you've got some good ingredients there, but you've got to get a website done. People need to know how to find you, and you need to use these great reviews that you've already got.
Well, here's one thing I'm thinking, which is to start even smaller. And for someone who's just getting started, perhaps go down to the local market, take a market stall where there's some footfall, and see if on the weekend you can sell some vape. Also talk to the retailers who are already retailing and see if they'll try and sell some for you. With most businesses, I say to them, don't worry too much about red tape or regulation, but with a business like this that is clearly regulated, you have to look into it. So it might be one of those things that you have to talk to an existing retailer to see if you can go under their regulation so that they can sell it. You make it for 5, sell it to them for 10, let them sell it for 20. And see if you can get some regular retailers just by walking in and having a chat with the little independent stores and seeing if they'll stock you. But also, if you can, be a bit cheeky and just go and get a market stall and see if you can sell some.
Good luck, Noel. Sounds great. Yes, good luck. Thank you very much for that. And more calls coming in a moment for the LBC Business Hour. It's 8:15.
This is LBC.
Here's a question. Will you bask in the cobalt Caribbean or sleep beneath the ice cliffs of Alaska? And which view will you sip your afternoon tea to? The New York skyline or the Norwegian fjords? And then what? To dine, to dance, to swim, or to simply promenade? Or perhaps you prefer to enjoy nothing. Not even a cloud between you and the moon. Nothing, except your every need. Sail beyond your imagination. Visit cunard.com for exclusive offers on selected voyages. ABTA and ATOL protected.
London, we have a problem. Our air is toxic, and driving polluting vehicles is the main cause. The air that I breathe, that my friends breathe, that my mum and dad breathe, and that you breathe, can cause lifelong diseases. But there are solutions, like making our transport greener and creating better spaces to walk and cycle.
These are just some of the ways the Mayor of London and TfL are helping to improve air quality across the capital. Find out how you can make a difference too. Search Let London Breathe. To the Mayor of London and TfL, every journey matters.
Football is back on Sky Sports. With our total football offer, you get all our football for just £18 extra a month.
Absolutely amazing. Sky Sports has more live games than ever before and more of the biggest fixtures. That means more passion, more drama, more glory. All for just £18 extra a month.
And it's live.
Search by Sky Sports. Sky Sports Football and Premier League, £18 a month for 18 months. Requires Sky TV. Prices may change during this period. Offer ends September 26th.
LBC Business Hour.
With Vodafone Business. Unlock your business potential with unlimited data plans.
LBC, I'm Clive Bull. This is the Business Hour with Vodafone, and with me is Daniel Priestley, entrepreneur and business accelerator, and Rita, Clifton, international branding expert, chair of Brand Cap. So we're offering advice on getting your business going, and also about the branding of that business as well. There's a tweet in here from Shosanna, who says, what people don't understand about successful branding is what's important is the box, not what's inside it. An excellent example of this is the way Apple brand their phones. Would you agree with that? The box is more important than what's in it?
I can't possibly agree with that. And do you know, the reason I can't, it's obviously important that your box, your packaging, the way you present yourself, that has to do justice to what you're doing, what you're making, who you are and everything else. But here's the thing, which is unless you've got great substance, unless you've got a product that people like, that it works and is effective and everything else, the problem is they're not going to buy you again. And what's really interesting now, and particularly in a digital world, is if stuff doesn't work as well as you want it to, or that you want your customers to value it and stuff like that, people get to find out really fast. So there was an old adage that said the problem with good advertising is it makes a bad product go out of business even faster. So obviously the box matters, because you've got a great quality product. You don't want to shove it into a shabby old box that doesn't do the quality justice. And by the way, that applies to people and personal brands as well.
There's always one person who will buy it just for the box. I'm always amazed at people who call in with LBC. Yep. There's
Well, you can actually buy the boxes on their own on eBay. There's a market for old Apple boxes.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just wondering
I've got some
about
old
this
Apple boxes. I could get into that business.
It makes the money. Well, let's take a call, shall we?
It matters. I mean, obviously it matters. It matters, but it doesn't matter as much as getting a great product in the first place.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Luke in Bromley. Hello, Luke.
Hello, good evening.
Evening. What would you like to say?
I'm really excited to speak to you and speak to you guys. Thank you. My company is Integrity Cleaning. We specialise in construction cleaning. Now,
Integrity Cleaning.
Integrity Cleaning.
And what's the website?
The website is integritycleaning.co.uk.
Nice.
I've got a few improvements to do, actually. We're called Integrity Cleaning because we really want to redefine the cleaning industry, because for too long it's been an industry which pays poor and so on. So we've introduced helping mothers back to work. I've actually helped 4 mothers back to work in as many days, actually, which is really lovely to know that, my customers actually benefit from working with Integrity Cleaning. Now, we've basically, the last year and a half, which is how long we've been in existence, we've grown exponentially, and I've been nominated and gone through to the finals as Young Business of the Year through to the UK.
Congratulations.
That's brilliant.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm part of that. That's not until November, but I'm in the final. There's the likes of Manchester United and Virgin Trains and all these other businesses in other categories. There's some pretty big names. I've also been nominated for Entrepreneur of the Year, so that's fantastic too, for the UK. So I'm happy to be part of that. Now, my question to you is, how can I actually promote this fact that obviously I'm currently a finalist to the wider public, because, it's really important to get such a good message out there?
Well, number one, as we said, congratulations. And number two, this is a great platform. And what you can do with that, obviously, is socialise it in every meaning of that word. So I'm sure that the organisation that has, got you on the shortlist, they'll have their own publicity. You need to make sure that you're getting that out on social media to all of your audiences, and also asking them to put it out to all of their audiences too. And the other thing, of course, is to make sure that you are constantly now, using that as a channel to tell stories about what you're doing, maybe get some of your staff to talk about what fantastic work that they do and how much they love working for the company. I mean, the fact that you've got a company where your people like working with you, you are doing a great job, that is a great group of ambassadors to say great things about your business. And frankly, if you've got great reviews on things like Trustpilot, etc., get it right up there on your communication.
Right.
And also the fact that you won. So you need to almost act like a fan. Do you know what I mean? It's a fan-based business. You've got, I'm sure, customer fans, your staff will be fans because you're helping them, you're doing a great job. You need to make sure that you are then amplifying that onto all of the social media and, relationship channels that you have got.
Well, we currently look after... we're cleaning actually a number of large towers in Canary Wharf, for example. There's 1,000 apartments there, which is obviously pretty good. We've just taken on 58 apartments in, where is it now? Kingston, and 63 apartments, cleaning brand new apartments in the...
You don't need any help. You've just done so well.
Yeah.
But I think the most important thing is to promote it to your existing customers, because a lot of the time we get caught up thinking about the next customer, the new customer, but actually that person who's been a customer for the last 12 months, I think it's important, especially when you've been acknowledged for an award as an entrepreneur, to really shine the light on your team and your customers for supporting the journey, not to let it, not to promote too much that it's about you, but to really use it as an opportunity to say, hey, look, this award actually is something that we can all be proud of. The whole team made this happen, and our existing customer base made this happen. So really passing the credit on.
Well, I'm happy to report that integritycleaning.co.uk is indeed a working website, and
I have no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And it's got integrity, I hope, as well.
Exactly.
So, but you've clearly found a great niche, a great gap and positioning for this market, because I totally agree with you about some of the challenges attached to cleaning services. So get your people to speak for you.
Good luck, Luke. Thank you. Let's take another call on LBC. Abraham in Willesden. Hello, Abraham.
Yes, good evening, everybody.
Evening. Tell us about your business.
It's London on Legs, and my website is londononlegs.com.
Londononlegs.com, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and tell us what you do.
Activities are providing walking tours in London, and also it's sort of expanded to providing tours, educational tours in other countries such as India, Europe, etc. My question is, I have had somebody design the website, but I'm getting practically no business from people through the internet, basically. And I'm just wondering why that is.
Well, there's a few things, which is it's important to ask your customers and how they found you and how they discovered you, and really try and ask people who hit the website, especially if you can sort of get with some friendly people who will give you an honest answer and actually say, can you have a look at the website and tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and just start asking that question. A lot of people these days are discovering things through things like Instagram, and that's how they love to discover businesses these days. And I think it's really important that businesses put as much effort into their social media presence as they do their website. But the other thing too is an expectation gap. So a lot of people I see who start businesses, they set up a website and they might get, a couple of thousand people to the website and get, only a few customers through. But actually, it's quite normal for websites to get conversions of, say, 1 to 3%. And that's kind of a normal conversion. And perhaps actually you've got a fine conversion, but you don't have enough traffic. So it's important to have a look at those kind of things.
I agree. And also it's understanding exactly who your customers are. I mean, understanding, where do they come from? What are they like? Because then, of course, when you've got some more specific information, you can go and find more people like those. And that's obviously what you'll do with the kind of marketing tools that are freely available now online, which are very, very helpful. I think that... the other thing, I think it's a really interesting idea, by the way, the whole London on Legs or somewhere on legs or something. That's a really, I think that you've got a really good property in there. The only other thing I would add is making it easy for people to buy you. I know that sounds a completely obvious idea, but sometimes I go to people's websites and they're trying to sell something, but honestly it's quite difficult to find, how to click on something to get tickets. So sometimes it's something even as obvious as a button, a clear button to say buy tickets, book tickets, etc. Sometimes you have to look too hard. You've got to make it easy for people to do business with you and make it flow really, really well. So be critical and get friends and colleagues to look at your website. Be critical about how it could work better and just take it on the chin and improve it.
Sometimes it's good too, if you're trying to get people to pay for something online, to get them to enter their name and their phone number and their email address first and then click next to the payment. And if they then drop off, you at least can call them back and say, hey, we noticed that you got halfway through the booking process. Can we take an order over the phone? Would that be easier? But at least you know that they dropped off between this point and this point.
Yeah.
Okay, good luck, Abraham.
That really does help. Thank you, Lord.
Great. LondonOnLegs.com. It sounds like the sort of thing you could, as you were saying, extend to Liverpool on Eggs.
It's got legs. It's got legs as an idea. How about that? Thank you very much.
It has got legs. I wonder whether there is a sort of presumption that all you need is a website, but actually you can make a fantastic website, but maybe nobody ever goes to it because they don't even know that it's there.
Yeah, I mean, a huge percentage of people of time that people spend online is on social media. People go straight over and they open the app for their Instagram. They spend a ton of time there, or their Twitter app, or their Facebook app. So it's really important. A lot of businesses would actually do much better if they forget the website and set up a really active Instagram account. In Instagram, you can actually set up a link to shopping, and you can,
absolutely,
very easy for people to book something, straight in the Instagram app.
I would have thought that'd be ideal for something like a walking tour. The people who are already doing the tours,
absolutely, you want to video people, get them to talk about what fun they're having,
give them fun things to photograph, take them to places that are very Instagrammable.
And I noticed you mentioned Instagram. Is that now becoming more important than, say, Twitter or Facebook?
For some categories it is. I mean, particularly if, they are literally visual categories like, retail or fashion or products or, stuff like that, where people love to put up photographs.
Walking
tours, for example. So it depends what category you're in.
Probably not tax advice or something like that.
Don't think so. I think you can find probably better routes. I mean, I hate to say LinkedIn, but actually LinkedIn can be very, very... If you're trying to build your personal brand in the B2B sector, for example, or otherwise, you're trying to sell financial advice, it's not the most exciting, social media channel, but it really is very, very useful.
Okay, Daniel Priestley is here. Rita Clifton is here on the LBC Business Hour. If you have a question, then call us now, 0345 6060 973. This is LBC. I'm Clive Bull. 8:30, here's the news with Josh Coop.
Police in Derbyshire say they're dealing with an unprecedented situation tonight as a town is evacuated over fears it could flood. A major incident has been declared after a wall surrounding a reservoir close to Whaley Bridge was damaged by heavy rain. The Environment Agency has issued a severe flood warning, meaning lives could be at risk. A woman has been found guilty of murdering her two young daughters less than 3 weeks apart in Warwickshire. Birmingham Crown Court heard Louise Porton from Rugby kill the children because they got in the way of her love life. And the Bank of England is warning we may see a recession even if there is a smooth Brexit transition. Governor Mark Carney says leaving without a deal could leave the pound trading at a record low. LBC weather, showers clearing, leaving a mainly dry and clear night. Rain in the north and east tomorrow, sunny elsewhere, a high of 24 degrees.
Coming up on LBC this Saturday morning, Andrew Castle will be talking about money with Lloyds Bank, the people behind the M word. He'll be joined by money blogger Iona Bain to look into why discussing money is one of the ultimate British taboos. That's this Saturday morning with Andrew Castle. I'm Clive Bull. This is LBC 8:32.
This is LBC.
Join me, James O'Brien, for my new podcast series, Full Disclosure. This week I'm speaking to the author of This Is Going to Hurt, Adam Kay.
the last time you were in hospital, you probably couldn't count the number of different nationalities you encountered. And that's one of the best things about the NHS.
Listen and subscribe now on the LBC app or Global Player.
What would you do if you knew there was a place to learn step-by-step strategies designed to help you make the right moves inside the financial markets? A place to develop lifelong skills that could help you generate income and build confidence towards your retirement goals. At Online Trading Academy, we know there's an investor in all of us, and we know how to teach people just like you the skills and knowledge that could empower you to take control of your financial future. Start by taking our free introductory class, where you can learn about the 2 biggest mistakes investors make, as well as strategies that could help you make your money work harder for you. For over 20 years, Online Trading Academy has been teaching students skills designed to help them invest with the confidence of the professionals. To register, visit otaclass.co.uk or call 020 3893 2622. That's 020 3893 2622. Trading involves risk and you can lose money. Online Trading Academy makes no promises or guarantees of investment performance. The value of investments is variable and can go down as well as up.
William, Pamela and Anthony were sold investments by banks and ended up losing money. Luckily, they contacted the financial claims experts at Goodwin Barrett and were able to claim back a total of £65,500. At Goodwin Barrett, we may be able to help you too. If you've lost money on an investment sold by a bank, even if you no longer have the investment or the paperwork, just text SOLD to 66777 for a free assessment on how much you could be owed. Text SOLD to 66777 and we'll call you back.
LBC Business Hour.
With Vodafone Business, get ahead of the competition and be 5G ready.
LBC and the Business Hour. I'm Clive Bull, and with me, Daniel Priestley and Rita Clifton, offering advice if you're thinking about setting up a business or you already have done and you want pointing in the right direction. Then call us 0345 6060 973. And joining us now to tell us about their business is Dr. Rita Patel, co-founder and CEO of Vine Health. Rita, hello.
Hello.
Tell us more, first of all, about your business. Introduce us to it.
Of course. So, as you said, I work for Vine Health. Our goal at Vine Health is to improve the quality of life and survival of cancer patients. So our platform supports patients to track and understand and optimize their care. They can track their symptoms, their side effects, their medications. And what we do is use a combination of machine learning and behavioral science to deliver the relevant information to support people to feel in control of what's happening and manage more easily. And the wider importance of that is that through this platform, we gather what's termed real-world data to understand how cancer drugs are actually affecting people and help develop better treatments for the future.
Wow, so that is a business with a very specific purpose. How did that come about?
Yes, I mean, it really came about as a combination of my own career and that of my co-founder, Georgina. So I am a doctor and my co-founder is a data scientist. And really we'd seen two sides of the same problem, which is that people with cancer can often feel really isolated and really unsupported. They, spend 99% of their time not with a doctor. And we know from the research that your behaviours, so how you manage your side effects, how you take your medications, your lifestyle choices, those things play a huge role in your outcomes from conditions like cancer. But there's very little support for patients to understand what they should be doing day to day. And at the same time, we simply don't have enough data on how cancer therapies actually affect patients. Drug development is usually based on survival metrics rather than quality of life metrics. And understanding the difference between those two is crucial for patients to make the best decisions for them.
Is the business already live? Are you already working with people?
It is, yes. So we have a live product that people with cancer are using and that doctors are using, but we're aiming to launch publicly later this year.
Brilliant. And how will people pay for it? Is it something that people pay for themselves, or is it provided on the NHS?
So it's entirely free for patients, for people living with cancer and living after cancer. we are working with hospitals in various capacities, but really the way that it operates as a business is by allowing access to research organisations and pharmaceutical companies to follow up clinical trial patients, so patients who are on trial drugs, to understand how those patients are reacting to those drugs. There's been a significant change in the regulation in the last year, so that actually pharma companies now need this data to be able to license and market their drugs. And so that's really how we sustain this commercially as a business and make it free to patients and hospitals.
So, I mean, look, this sounds like an amazing idea, very important. And I think what's really heartening too, I'm sure you're aware that purpose-driven businesses tend to outperform those businesses that don't have heart and soul. And you've clearly got a really strong sense of purpose and mission here. And again, it's really great to hear about it. This feels to me as though it could be a very, very powerful community. And what's more, people who have tragically gone through cancer, they find other people, they tend to connect with other people, and they'd like to do that too. So I think that there are lots of opportunities to grow the community and grow the network. And also, I'm sure you've got great relationships with hospitals and so on, so you can find the right people. So the only observation I've got, I don't know what you found in your work so far, is that I know it sounds like a slightly strange term, but the cancer, the market, if you like, the conversations and the help around cancer can feel very confusing for people. And so therefore I think part of your challenge will be how to break through to the right people in the right way, so that you become the main support or the key support that they have in the face of so much information, so many ways in which to connect with other people, so many, I suppose, medicines and bits of advice, etc. So I think the question for it is Vine Health that you said, wasn't it?
Yes.
Is how you really make that a big idea about Vine. And I guess Vines connect people, they can connect things. I think you could make something that felt very special and interesting out of that brand, that name, the purpose that you've got, that really sort of, you can hear things on the vine, you can, as I say, grow organically. There are many, many ideas, I think.
It's a name to play with, isn't it?
I think it's a great name to play with.
Yeah.
And, really very, very best wishes on this idea, because it's much needed. But as I say, I think you've really got to work hard to make it distinctive and make your proposition, a differentiated one in such a confusing and quite fragmented area.
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Rita Patel, co-founder and CEO of Vine Health. We're going to take another call now. Luke in...
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Luke is next in Helensburgh. Hello, Luke.
Hello, Clive. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Rita.
Hi.
Hello.
What would you like to say?
I've got a question really more about branding. To sort of make a quite long story short, I lost my sense of taste about 9 months ago, and I don't enjoy food as much as I used to.
You lost your sense of taste?
I did, yeah. I can't taste food at all whatsoever. But sort of like some good has actually come from it. And because I have been able to taste food previously, I kind of know what food is good and what food is bad. But things are more texturally now. But and it's sort of like, it's made me think that it's actually quite a good idea to try and help people in my position who don't actually able to taste things. So I set up an Instagram account. I'm trying to get a Facebook sort of like page together. It's sort of like in a blog format. But my real question is really more on the branding. I mean, I have a name as the Tasteless Foodie because literally there's nobody else who's doing what I try to do as a food style blogger. But it's just really more sort of like having something that's like an image or something that you can immediately say, that's Tasteless Foodie. I'm generally quite a creative person by nature, but I'm really, really struggling to just come up with something to say, this is it. This is identifying as me.
With something so niche, that is so incredibly niche, you don't need to put, like, just simply talking about the fact, is there a name of a condition that you've got?
It's actually a side effect of an operation I had.
Do they give the end result a name? Like, is there something
really,
that people search for on Google? That's what I'm getting at.
Aware, but,
So I think people would probably search for things like losing sense of taste, and you would want to make sure that is very much in the Instagram handle. It would be something that you'd want to tag all your images with. You'd want to make sure that it's in the blogs that you write. So you might want to go, there's a website called Answer the Public, and Answer the Public is a website that tells you what people are searching for. So you actually can type sense of taste into Answer the Public, and it will give you all the different searches that relate to that topic. And what you might find is that there's 5 or 6 major things that people search for, such as losing sense of taste. And then you want to make sure that with a niche business like this, that is going to be something that people have to go and look for. You want to make sure those keywords are in your posts.
Absolutely, and it wouldn't cost that much money, bearing in mind that this is a very niche, a niche
idea,
challenge, or idea that you have. However, I really like this name. I think the Tasteless Foodie is a great name. It shows, it shows that you have got a sense of humour and that you're going to make it interesting and fun, as opposed to feeling almost like a medicalised issue and with any of the sort of difficult stuff that happens around that. So I think you've got a really good name. And doing a blog, doing an interesting blog, showing your personality in a way that feels magnetic, to people, so that you're saying something interesting. I think, I hadn't really thought about what you described before, but for people who have have this challenge, I think you're offering something really quite different. And as we were saying earlier, it's just a matter of finding those people, because I think you've got a great personality and a great idea in here that actually would be appealing. You've got to find people, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I would base the whole thing around either Facebook or Instagram. On Facebook, I came across a group called the Fruit Sticker Appreciation Society, and it was essentially people who love to collect fruit stickers off of fruit and keep them in albums. And what's funny...
That's like weird.
I know.
However,
it turns out
each his own.
There's 112 people who do this, and they've got a group and they've got a club, and they all share the photos of the fruit stickers that they've found, and they're from all over the world. And that's the beauty of social media. It connects people around niches. Pre-social media, the fruit sticker collectors would have never found each other.
And there might be a charity, for example. I don't know whether or not there is a charity that's been set up, or a medical charity or something that actually has addressed some of the challenges that you've got, but that would also be a place to go and
central meeting point. Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I've done a little bit of Googling, or what is it, back rubbing, as we should have called it, and I think you might be onto something here, Luke, because I don't think anyone's doing anything quite like that, and blogging around that whole issue of not being able to taste food. Good luck, Luke. Thank you very much indeed. The LBC Business Hour, more in a moment. It's 8:44.
James O'Brien, Monday to Friday from 10 a.m.
Who knows more about selling cars into Britain from Germany? The German automotive industry, or you, me and Digby Jones?
Oh, well, exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with
and what are the German... These articles you've been reading, what does the German car industry say repeatedly, consistently and utterly clearly since 2016?
Well, I don't know.
Well, mate, you've got to start looking this stuff up, not just the articles that fit with the position you've already got.
Leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
Get an Ocean credit card. Check if you're eligible in minutes without affecting your credit score. It comes with a credit limit of up to £1,500 too. So get online and check for yourself at ocean.co.uk and get all that from Ocean. Intelligent Lending Limited is a credit broker. Capital One, the exclusive lender. Representative 39.9% APR variable.
In the big savings event at Oak Furnitureland, our great-looking 100% solid hardwood furniture now comes with something extra. Big savings and free delivery. So don't miss out. Online and at all our stores nationwide, the big savings event at Oak Furnitureland. It ends Sunday.
Whether it's a holiday packed full of culture, a holiday packed full of tranquility, or a holiday packed full of adventure, book your perfect holiday with Travel Bag. From round-the-world trips or city breaks to beach holidays or escorted tours, visit travelbag.co.uk or our newly opened store in Baker Street. Travelbag, 40 years of experience packed into your perfect holiday. Visit Travelbag in Baker Street today. ATOL protected.
The new Azuma train from LNER, zipping between London and Edinburgh. Oh, it's sparkling, gleaming, zooming. Yet on the inside, it's quieter, smoother, more seats, space, plugs, and better Wi-Fi. And all 6'4" of Uncle Jeff stretches into the extra legroom and rests his eyes. This is our new train, the Azuma, and this is our LNER. In operation with existing fleet.
LBC Business Hour.
With Vodafone Business, focused on delivering for the needs of small businesses.
LBC, I'm Clive Bull, and it's the Business Hour. With me this week, Daniel Priestley and Rita Clifton. We're talking about getting your business going and branding, and we're going to take another call now. It's Amisha, who's in Hayes. Hello, Amisha.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. What would you like to tell us about?
Well, I'm a personal stylist. I have my own business called Kuki Moretti. But what I find, when it comes to personal styling, everybody kind of has this, oh, I'll do it when I've got to a certain point in my life, or my body's this shape, or oh no, it's only for celebrities. And what I try to do is educate. I work mainly with women, but I try to educate them and show them, look, how you dress ultimately tells people how you feel about you. If you're not happy, it shows through your clothes. And it's a form of education that we're not taught. You know, I always say that we're taught how to count, how to spell, how to read, but no one ever shows us how to shop, how to find our own personal style. We kind of fumble along the way and find it for a magazine and such. But what I do is bring about confidence in my clients, just to show them, look, this is how you can dress, and to bring up that, to connect the outer you with the inner you, if you get my
Totally
nice
get
idea.
it. You've got great sales pattern.
What about this name? Where did that come from? You got a story around it?
There is. I remember when I was at uni, everyone used to say I was very quirky the way I used to dress, and one of my uncles used to call me outlandish, and I always used to take offence to it. So one day I thought, you know what, everyone always calls me quirky, so I looked it up in the dictionary, and kooky was one of them. I thought, you know what, yeah, I will go for that, because it stands out. You'll never forget that, even though people call me Cookie, and I'm like, don't eat me, please.
Yeah, look, that's a good story. And you know, this really, really lends itself to you doing interesting content. I mean, just thinking about how someone like Joe Wick started. I mean, you know, he started filming himself doing exercises and cooking and things like that, and he just had great chat and whatever. And clearly you've got a great personality, you've got an interesting story here. I think you've got an interesting and distinctive point of view on what it is that you're doing and the whole confidence thing. So I hope you're producing lots of interesting content about, you know, giving tips, you know, making sure that people see what you're doing to build confidence, getting maybe some of the people who work with you to talk about what you've done to help them. It lends itself so beautifully to social media and to people loving you and sharing, you know, what you're doing and some of the content, etc. I think we could ask just a question about, how are you going to make money? How do you want to make money? How are you going to do that? What can you imagine your business model being?
Because I mean, especially with social media, with a lot of body dysmorphia, a lot of people looking at themselves and not feeling 100% about them, and always comparing themselves. Why do I not look like somebody? And I always say, you are unique.
Amisha,
I don't care.
just a quick question. How do you charge? Do you charge people by the hour? Do you charge them percentage of what they spend?
I charge by the hour.
Okay.
And what you get from that, as well as getting a complete one-to-one with me, afterwards I do a summary. So
See, there's a lot involved. There's one thing I want to bring up, which is not just for you, but for a lot of people in business listening. And it's especially, you can hear from my accent that I'm Australian by birth, but I've lived here for 13, 14 years now. And I see it a lot in Britain, and I call it ABS breaking. And ABS breaking is anything but sales. So I'll do lots of posting and I'll do lots of educating the market, but I won't sit down with someone and ask for the business. And sometimes the most important thing for a small business like yours is to sit down, to educate people about why they need a personal stylist, why it's affordable, what they're going to get for it, and then ask for the business. And with our clients on the accelerator, we actually measure something called their weekly laps, which is leads, appointments, presentations, and sales. So how many leads did they generate? How many appointments did they book to sit down with people? How many presentations did they deliver, and how many sales, how many people bought? So we always ensure that if someone complains, I'm not getting enough business, we say, how many laps did you do this week? What was your leads, appointments, presentations, and sales?
Leads, appointments, presentations. I like that.
I think that's a really great idea, great way of looking at it, and just making sure that you're building a business that's going to have a long-term future. That sounds great. I think the other thing to think about is what you're developing, because obviously you can only charge a certain amount for your time per client or per hour and so on. I'm sure there'll be stuff that that you could package up into intellectual property, so whether or not you're going to do a style book or
online courses,
that kind of stuff. These are ways in which you can, the golden rule is trying to make money while you sleep. So obviously you can do a great business, being a consultant, helping people. That would be very rewarding. If you want to grow the business and also you want to grow it beyond just what you can do personally, you can put together some IP,
but I will say
a book
this.
maybe.
Yeah, I will say, and a book is a great one, but I will say it is a journey, and often people who end up with money while they sleep, they start out just doing the hard graft of picking up the phone, making sales meetings, and then by building quite a client base, they come up with that course or that idea or that book, and then that sets them on the journey of building a more scalable business. But I've also seen people jump to that too quickly, and they overlook the opportunity to make $2 or $3 grand a week.
I absolutely agree. You got to get practical, haven't you? In the early days, get practical because you need to have business.
Yeah,
you have great dreams, great ideas, great IP, and everything else. But at the end of the day, you got to get down and you got to hit the phones, do some business, produce some great content, get it shared, get people coming in. The leads thing.
Avoid the ABS breaking.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to write that down and pretend it's my idea. That now.
That's my IP. I registered it.
Amisha, good luck. Thank you very much. Let's go to Laurie in Harrow. Hello, Laurie.
Hi, Laurie. Hi. So how are you?
Hi. Very good. What? Tell us about your business.
Well, my business, it's called the Bite Me Corner.
Say that again.
It's called the Bite Me Corner.
The Bite Me Corner. Okay.
Corner, yeah.
Yep.
Is this one for public broadcasting? I'm wondering.
I hope this is going to be to do with food.
I do get a lot of that. The company was based on. I home tutored my children for 20 years, and from that, what I did during that time is that. I really built their confidence through cooking, through the medium of cooking. And what we did is we introduced, we had a garden, grew herbs and etc. And from their, knowledge and, developing their understanding of food, they got really confident in creating new dishes. So hence, when they went off to university, they had no problems in the area of developing new dishes and their health. And then, as the children grew up, what I found is that more people sent their children to me because they had problems with their children eating certain types of foods. And, and sometimes it was, people going off to university who wanted to, what they're going to eat for, whilst they were there and how to prepare foods. So, therefore the company was developed through that. And so that's where the name came from.
Great. What's the key question?
The key question is that from developing the company, initially we were going to schools and doing workshops and after schools. And then what happened is that we had corporate companies approach us in regard to doing wellbeing workshops because we have our own nutritionist with us. And so it's whether I was thinking of changing it from the Bite Me Corner to the BMC, so therefore it goes across the board.
this is obviously an interesting idea. I think point one is to get clarity about what product or service you're offering. I mean, are you offering a training and development product? Are you actually offering to, cook stuff, interesting stuff a bit? I think just nailing down what it is the product and service you're offering would be and getting really clear about that is a really important first step. Maybe you are already, are you?
We are. Our clients create dishes. It's not a. Our sessions involve our clients creating. We provide the food. And, for instance, if we have a wellbeing program and, like a corporate workshop and they make something like a couscous salad and we bring in all the dishes.
I think when it comes to the name, it's really important that the name is memorable. And I probably would remember the Bite Me Corner more than I would remember the BMC. And LBC Radio, they brought that brand to life, those letters, by calling it Leading Britain's Conversation, so that you remember what LBC stands for. And I'm sure LBC was originally kind of like the letters that they give you when you get a radio license, but they gave it a name that became very memorable. And I think the Bite Me Corner, corporates love sort of a little bit cheeky, funny, playful.
And it's very memorable. I mean, I'm slightly allergic, if I'm to be honest, to abbreviations. And if you're not careful, it can sound a bit corporate. I mean, IBM is a good example. It used to have a long name, International Business Machines. They did abbreviate it, but frankly, it's now almost become a name in its own right. But that's because it's been going for so many years and because they spent so much money on marketing. If you go through, any business directory, there are so many businesses that have got 3 letters or a couple of letters and things like that. And if you're not careful, it'll become another one of those anonymous companies. So I think it's much better to have a distinctive brand name. You can work around that. People will remember it. I would keep the Bite Me. I mean, I think it's fun. And frankly, using other elements of your logo or your visual identity or whatever, you can aim off for this being a sort of slightly weird or dubious type of name. You could have fun with it, and
There's a lot that you can do with this intersection of confidence and cooking, getting out of your cooking comfort zone, for example, the intersection of cooking and confidence, all of those sorts of things. I think if people understand those two, that's the intersection that you're operating.
And that's your angle. Because frankly, I was in a shop the other day, there was a table absolutely groaning with the weight of cookery books and the latest chef and the latest theory and the latest food thing and everything else. So, trying to do something that's distinctive, I think you have gotten a very distinctive idea, and now you just need to do it justice in the way you're putting it together and packaging it and marketing it.
Well, good luck, Laurie. I've just had a look at the website, and it does say the Bite Me Corner and then brackets the BMC. So Laurie's clearly trying to decide which way to go. I think you've told her which way to go with that. Good luck, Laurie. Thank you very much.
The British Medical Council, I think that's it. I'm just thinking about all the ways in which you could interpret
Motoring Corporation.
You might end up with lots of unintended traffic.
Yes. Well, there we are. We're out of time, I'm afraid. Thank you so much, Rita Clifton and Daniel Priestley. Thank you very much for coming in. We'll have another business hour next week at the same time.